Stranger Things Season 4 may have wrapped up, but a popular villain from the show is now getting their own spin-off series. What villain are we talking about, and what kind of show is it going to be? More on that soon. Plus, we take a brief look at 10 TV spin-offs that ended up being better than the original show. Do any come to mind? Keep watch to see what spin-offs make our list. What is the Stranger Things spin-off all about? According to Screen Rant, Dr. Martin Brenner, aka Papa, is going to be in the new series of the Stranger Things franchise. This new series is going to detail Brenner's early life, presumably leading up to when he locked all the special kids at the institution where 11 escaped, which is aptly named Stranger Things: The Numerous Ghosts of Dr. Brenner. The new Stranger Things series starts in the year 1968 when Dr. Martin Brenner, a disgraced scientist, returns to the abandoned lab where he and his associates collected experiments for top-secret government systems. The abandoned experiments weren't the only thing haunting him, as a ghostly face from his past seems to be watching his every move. We aren't sure what this ghostly face could be, but it could be one of the first subjects he worked on that exhibited psychic powers, like Vecna and 11. Brenner was an important figure in Stranger Things Seasons 1 and 4. Still, not much is known about him other than he conducted an experiment to house children with telekinetic powers. We assume that this new series is going to shed further light on where Brenner came from and reveal if he knows more about the upside-down world than was revealed in the series. Stranger Things: The Numerous Ghosts of Dr. Brenner is also a connected series, so it might be crucial in revealing some themes that could pop up in Stranger Things Season 5. Stranger Things: The Numerous Ghosts of Dr. Brenner miniseries will be 4 episodes long and will be released on January 11th, 2023. We aren't entirely sure if there are going to be heavy repercussions in the new series that affect Stranger Things Season 5, but we'd imagine the Duffer Brothers are clearly going to let everyone know if that's true. What spin-off shows ended up being better than the original? While spin-offs can frequently be worse off than their predecessors, there are plenty of inconceivable spin-offs that were better than the original show. Recent times have indeed seen more spin-offs come to the mainstream. Regardless, there are a good number of strong spin-offs that surpassed the quality and style of their iconic forerunners. Here are 10 such spin-off shows. The Good Fight, spin-off of The Good Woman. The Good Woman ran for 7 strong seasons, but it also produced a very direct spin-off that has nearly run for just as long on Paramount. Still, the spin-off developed an indeed more refined voice than the original. Robert and Michelle King's The Good Fight is set a year after The Good Woman's conclusion. The spin-off stars Juliana Margulies, but doubles down on Christine Baranski's Diane Lockhart. The Good Fight is very similar to its original in terms of courtroom drama, but the spin-off is less confined and really gets to hold a glass up to society in fantastic, grueling ways. Star Trek Deep Space Nine, spin-off of Star Trek The Next Generation. The Star Trek fantasy continues to expand even now. Star Trek Deep Space Nine comes out of Star Trek The Next Generation, making it a spin-off of a spin-off. But Deep Space Nine is a Star Trek series that really has the commodity to say it's better. Deep Space Nine differs from the other Star Trek series because it's less interested in galactic passages. Rather, the spin-off looks at the political conflict and strategy that surrounds their control of the Deep Space Nine station. The crew is left in an unpredictable position between feuding extraterrestrial species, which makes for an excellent premise for a sci-fi series. Family Matters, spin-off of Perfect Strangers. Family Matters ran for 8 seasons and effectively represents the wackier aspects of the 1980s sitcom Perfect Strangers. The spin-off establishes its own heritage, but many do not realize that it's also where Perfect Strangers' Harriet Winslow originates. Harriet is a welcome presence as an elevator driver in Perfect Strangers, but she's clearly an unanticipated choice to lead a spin-off. Family Matters would run for over 200 episodes and become an anchor of ABC's TGIF lineup. But curiously, it's Steve Urkel who's largely responsible for this success, not Harriet. DC Legends of Tomorrow, spin-off of Arrow and The Flash. The CW has done serious emotional work with their connected Arrowverse. Arrow is the first series which expands into The Flash and several other spin-offs. The most intriguing and exciting of these series is Legends of Tomorrow, which assembles a cast of supporting players and oddball villains who have preliminarily appeared in different Arrowverse series. Legends of Tomorrow finds the perfect tone where it does not take itself too seriously and can engage in the chaotic flightiness and action that a good book series should. Indeed, after so numerous casting changes, Legends of Tomorrow continues to deliver. Boston Legal, spin-off of The Practice. David E. Kelley is considered to be one of the biggest names in TV, and the 1990s were littered with his products. The Practice was one of Kelley's bigger successes. The legal drama ran for 8 seasons with Dylan McDermott and Cameron Manheim at the head of the series. The Practice would ultimately introduce James Spader's Alan Shore and William Shatner's Denny Crane, who sluggishly became The Practice's focus. This evolves into them getting their own spin-off, Boston Legal. The spin-off still functions as a legal drama, but it's a much more surreal and silly show than the original. NCIS, spin-off of JAG. Police proceedings and crime shows are a fan favorite on TV, but no one suspected that the Navy and Marine Corps would inspire similar TV series to NCIS. NCIS is its own show, which makes it easy to forget that it's actually a spin-off of the Naval Concentrated JAG, which also ran for a decade. NCIS has enjoyed much more success than JAG, having put out over 400 episodes in nearly 2 decades. But its uninterrupted success has also resulted in many of its own spin-offs, like NCIS branches set in Los Angeles, New Orleans, and Hawaii. Happy Days, spin-off of Love American Style. Happy Days is an important piece of TV that highlights both the power of nostalgia and the significance of a large cast of eccentric characters. Happy Days becomes a popular destination for a number of its own spin-offs, like Laverne and Shirley and Mork and Mindy. However, Happy Days is actually a spin-off of ABC's Florilegium series, Love American Style, which was a stand-in during the early 1970s. The episode Love and the Happy Days establishes the template for the 50s and 60s set comedy. Happy Days was incredibly popular and would go on to introduce iconic TV personalities like the Fonz. Frasier, spin-off of Cheers. Occasionally, the best spin-off series come from the most unanticipated places. Cheers was one of the biggest sitcoms of the 1980s. It remained harmonious and ended up on top after more than a decade. Cheers' cast is large, but Frasier Crane is far from the most popular cast member. Against all odds, Frasier spends over 200 episodes exploring the elitist life in Seattle with his family. Frasier's cast is a rare show where contraries attract when it comes to Frasier and his father, but the decision to make Niles a more violent interpretation of Frasier is a stroke of genius. Angel, spin-off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is an iconic piece of TV programming that helped put the WB network and the UPN on the chart. Buffy establishes many great characters, and after the show's exceptional 3rd season, David Boreanaz's Angel was supposedly strong enough to caption his own series. Angel begins as a darker neo-noir that is more about the supernatural aspects of high school and the teenage experience. Angel takes a season to find its voice, but it engages in exceptional long-form character development, especially when it comes to Wesley Wyndham-Pryce. Better Call Saul, spin-off of Breaking Bad. One of the major caveats of a spin-off series is that it can retroactively become the heritage of the original show. The prospect of a potentially more humorous prequel series to Breaking Bad that focuses on the inflated counsel, Saul Goodman, made many fans nervous. But Better Call Saul turned into an informational character study that has an excellent showing of pressure. Better Call Saul takes its time, but once its pieces come together, it's unlike anything entirely. Bob Odenkirk has never been better, and Better Call Saul is an illustration of how the right kind of prequel and spin-off can effectively strengthen its source material. And there you have it. We've brought you an upcoming spin-off based on the popular popular Stranger Things franchise. Plus, we gave you our list of spin-off shows that turned out to be better than the original. Feel free to drop your comments on these topics. Like, share, and subscribe as well. We can't wait to hear from you.